distance, speed, and time, very regular part of your leaving cert. Let's have a look. Liam left home at 7. He cycled at a constant speed for 20 kilometers. We get that. He's on the bicycle, he goes 20 kilometers. That's a lot. Until he reached the point A. So let's just consider this information on our graph so that we can follow it. So we can see that here we have time, and we can see that the beginning is at 7. And this part here talk about distance from home along the route. So what does that mean? Here, there is no distance from home because he's at home. Now, as well, what we can understand that the farthest he go from home is 32 kilometers. Now, what happened when you leave home? Eventually, you have to come back, isn't it? So we know that if he went all the way to 32 kilometers, he will make that trip back 32 kilometers back home. So we can see here that, so he leaves at 7, then he speeds for 20 kilometers until he reached the point A. So from this point here to here, we can see that's 20 kilometers. That's the distance away from home. And then as well, what we can understand from this part, how long it took him. Because if he left 7 and now is half 8, well, then it is an hour and a half. Okay. He then changed speed and cycle at a constant speed for further 12 kilometers. So at this point, he goes another 12 kilometers, but this time he goes faster until he reaches the point B. The graph shows the distance from home along the route cycle until he reached B. So how does we understand distance, speed, and time? So we get that. That's where I have the time. That's where I have the distance. And where is the speed? Well, the speed is the steepness of this line. And the idea is the steeper the line, the faster the speed. So we can see that here, that line is not as steep. Therefore, it's slightly slower than this. So speed in this case is equal slope of that line, just to have an idea how they connect. Okay, let's have a look. What do we need to do with this information? Use the graph to estimate the distance. So distance we are looking for that Liam had cycled at 8 o'clock. Now, before we go into that, I want you to as well understand. When we are having these two information, the time and the distance, or any other X and Y, doesn't matter what are they called, okay? Remember that usually the way it works, the way your question is structured is that, for example, they will ask you about value of X, therefore they will give you value of Y, or the other way around. They will give you the value of X and therefore they will ask you about value of Y. In the context of this question, that means that, let's say, X is time. So they may ask you about time and therefore they give you distance, or they may give you time and therefore ask you about distance. So that's, that's the way it is structured. So don't be kind of put off. So here we are saying estimate what? Distance. That means they give us time. So that's where we're going to be looking for distance, but at what point? By 8. So I'm looking at my time 8. We go to the graph, and then, because we have to show our work, and then from that, now I'm sure you do much better straight line than I'm doing, and then across to distance. So the value here we should be estimating is about 13 kilometers. Okay, what's the other thing we need to do? Find his speed in kilometers per hour while he was traveling from A to B. So we are talking about this speed. Now, when we are talking about distance, speed, and time, there is a formula that we are familiar with from Junior Cert. So when I'm looking for speed, how does it work? That means speed will equal to d, which is distance, divided by t, which is time. Now, and we have to give distance kilometers and time in hours, because therefore that speed will be kilometers per hour. So what is the distance that he traveled from A to B? Let's have a look. So from A to B, we are told here that he from A, he changes the speed and he does 12 kilometers. So that's 12 kilometers. But indeed, at point A, he is 20 kilometers from home. At point B, 32. So the difference between that is 12. So we have 12 kilometers divided. What is the time that it takes him to get from A to B? From half 8 to 9, half an hour. So 0.5 of an hour. And then we put that in the calculator and we get is 24 kilometers per hour. That's his speed. Okay, and then let's have a look at the last part of this question. Use the following information to complete the graph. Okay, so let's take that up here. No, just give me a sec. Let me clean that mess here so that we can see. Oh, that's perfect. That one will cover the one on that. So what is that we are filling in? Liam stopped at B for 30 minutes. So from 9 o'clock to half 9, he didn't change the distance. He was 32 kilometers from home and he was still 32 kilometers from home. The distance hasn't changed, but time has changed. He then cycled the 32 kilometers. So from this point, that's 32 back home. So all the way home. Home is where here at 0. But where will I draw that line? So they're saying at a constant speed. So it's not going to be a broken line like this one when the speed change. It's going to be a straight line. And they are telling me that it took him 1 hour. So he's here at half 9. So that means in an hour time, he will be at half 10. So that's where we are doing our straight line. And that's how we complete that graph. Like I'm saying, distance, speed, and time, it is your constant element in your living cert. Don't forget about this formula. It's not in your table. You have to know this formula.